Buckeye Nation, please join me and give a warm welcome to The Ohio State University's next Senior Vice President and Wolf Foundation Eugene Smith Endowed Athletics Director, Ross Bjork.
The man is now in place to replace legendary figure Gene Smith. Ross Bjork will have big shoes to fill, but says he's up for the challenge.
He also says this was not a job he was expecting, but OSU had everything it took for him to leave Texas A&M.
The bus for Ohio State athletics only stops maybe once, if any, and we can't control that bus schedule. We can't control when it pulls over, and so the timing may not be ideal, but the stop is ideal for family and for family history. And if one move could be surrounded by all...
We're bringing you team coverage on the new leader of OSU athletics. NBC4 Sports Director Joe Nugent spoke to the president, Ted Carter, and Buckeye coaches.
Well, Anna Hoffman sat down with the family of the new athletic director and Ohio State boosters. We're going to kick off our coverage now with Joe Nugent. And Joe, this is a hire that I think a lot of people are intrigued by.
Certainly. He's known as a very talented fundraiser, and Ohio State's efforts, especially in football, have improved here in recent months, but there's never enough money, and that's an area where Ross Bjork excels. He will make at least $2 million here per year with the opportunity for bonuses, and Bjork's contract at Ohio State will run through June 2029. That is a 5-year deal. Bjork owes Texas A&M a buyout. Ohio State will help with that in a significant way. At 51 years old, he will have, as Ted Carter says, a long runway, potentially approaching the 19 years Gene Smith will spend running OSU athletics. Bjork will be back here in March, working next to Gene for a few months before taking over. Here's Ohio State's new president, Ted Carter, who just made a big hire on his 17th day at OSU.
Couldn't be more excited. This is a day of celebration for our fans, Buckeye Nation, our entire university, our student athletes, the coaches, and as I said, the Big Ten and, quite honestly, college athletics. Ross is an amazing leader. He's going to do really well here.
What do you like most about Ross? What really stood out in the interview process?
His sincerity, his passion for student athletes, and the guy is a competitor. And I like that. You know, winning matters. And he's used to wanting to win. And he's going to come to a place where we're going to have a little different resources, a little different fan base. But he's going to get our coaches inspired, make sure they get the right talent, resources so that we can win championships.
Bjork comes here with significant experience as an athletic director at not one, but 2 different SEC schools. And our exclusive one-on-one interview with Ohio State's new athletic director is coming up at 6.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you. Buckeye Nation has high expectations for athletics. Fans, boosters, and staff say they are all looking forward to seeing what Bjork can do stepping into those big shoes.
NBC4's Anna Hoffman was at the news conference today. She joins us now live. And Anna, what are people looking for here from Bjork?
Sierra and Jared, they want some more of these, of course, but that's not all. Everyone I spoke to says they want Bjork to understand the program and understand what this program means to Buckeye Nation.
OH.
Ross Bjork being selected as the Ohio State University's next athletic director, in a way, it's bringing him back to his roots.
I think I cried. It is a shock to have him come back to my home.
His mother, Linda Bjork, grew up on a farm near Findlay. She says being born and raised a Buckeye fan makes this even sweeter.
He's going to learn to know everybody and do his research. I'm really proud of him, and I'm thankful that I got to bring him into the world, and that hopefully he's ending his career here at my home.
OSU President Ted Carter says he was looking for 3 things in the new AD. Someone who can be a leader in this large, complex program. Someone who understands the ever-changing landscape in college sports. And someone who can be among a record 18 athletic directors in the Big Ten, understanding the weight of this program to Buckeye Nation. Carter says Bjork checks all those boxes.
Come in, be humble, listen, learn, make sure he rides this big, huge bicycle for a while and gets to understand it. That's what this overlap period between him and Gene Smith will be all about. And then to have a vision for where college athletics is going and be a big voice inside of that.
Brady Doss is the vice president of the Block O student section. He says he hopes to see Bjork at the games like they did with Gene Smith.
I'm looking forward to seeing Bjork at the games, interacting with them, you know, whether that's a selfie with the students or getting the student section going crazy at the games.
Bjork is moving to the Buckeye State with his wife and 2 sons, Peyton and Paxton, who are both athletes.
He's worked hard for this. I mean, he's dedicated his whole career to this, so it's been really fun watching this all happen.
He's just done so much for us and just made me and him really proud.
Based on the Bjork family attire today, it might be safe to say
Buckeyes for sure, for sure.
we got the stuff on.
Yeah, we're repping the gear now,
already.
so it's official.
Yeah.
When I spoke with President Carter today, he says another thing is taking care of the student athletes, especially with the changes in NIL deals. Carter says he knows that Bjork will do that. Local for you at The Ohio State University, I'm Anna Hoffman, NBC4.
Anna, thank you. One other note from the news conference. Multiple times during that news conference today, Ross Bjork specifically pointed out that football is king, and he shouted out the Buckeyes head coach, Ryan Day, as the man who will lead the program to championships. I spoke with Day after the program, and he says he and Bjork share many values.
Yeah, great experience and certainly been in that environment before, so that part's exciting. And looking forward to spending more time and learning more about his experiences and how that can, translate to Ohio State.
Day is still completing changes to his football coaching staff. Gene Smith will still be overseeing those hires. And you can see our reporting on the hiring of Ross Bjork right now at NBC4i.com. And there you can take a look at his resume.